So what we do as humans is we make a lot of assumptions a lot about the world around us, especially when it comes to working on some sort of a creative project, right? Like I remember whenever I started working on a project for myself, the first thing I would just think that, whoa, here's what people need, or here's how the solution should look like, or here's how we should do something. And it's so easy for us to assume things because we're seeing the world from our own lenses, right? And we just think like, oh, like this is what I want, or then everybody should want this, or this is a challenge for me, then it should be a challenge for everybody else, right? But the truth of the matter is that that's not always the case. So what happens is when we assume things, we go ahead and work on our project or solution, whatever the case might be, and then once it's done, then we'll show it to people, and then they're like, oh yeah, you know what, no, actually that I don't know if that solves a problem for me, or I don't know if this is a real challenge for me, or I don't know if I want this, right? So what happened was we put all of our effort, we worked on something, we didn't talk to people, we didn't do the research, we assumed certain things, and then we went to the market with it, and results were not usually good, right? So at least in my case has been the case, and I know it has happened to a lot of us, and it's a very natural thing as humans for us to do that, right? To just simply assume that we know what needs to be done and then just jump into working on what we think we should be doing, and never talking to people, never doing the research, and then we end up making the mistake that a lot of people make, especially the very first time you work on something. So a better way to go around that is to not make assumptions, or even if you're making assumptions, just find what is the riskiest assumption, what is the one thing that if it's not the case, then there's really no point of working on that project. And what you do is you go and talk to real people, whoever it is that you're trying to help with your project, and you just run research. Right now there's two ways of doing research, and research is one of those words that it's like sounds boring, and it's like, oh man, that sounds like a lot of work and it's time consuming, I don't know if I want to do it. But what's the alternative? If you don't do it and then you just go ahead and you work on whatever the project or solution is, and then you show it to people and now they don't want it, which one is worse? Like doing the ugly work of research and time consuming and all of that now and making sure that you are building the right thing, or going ahead and spending like your energy, your time and money and effort and everything working on a solution, and in the end nobody wants it, right? So every time if you find yourself that, oh, I don't know if I want to do research, just remember that the alternative is a lot worse. So now that we know we want to do research on whatever the situation is, there's really two ways to go around it. You can do low touch research, and this is when you don't actually talk to people yet. Like, so the way to do that is like you go read the book reviews on Amazon, you go read blogs and comments on those blogs, and post on Facebook, social media, YouTube, wherever that you think the people you're trying to help or reach out to are already having conversations. You go to those places and you try to do your research and get as much information as you can from those places. But then on the other side, you have the high touch research. This is when the real stuff happens. This is when you actually talk to people. This is you get on phones with people face to face, whatever you can do to actually talk to real human beings, asking them open-ended questions and letting them speak and tell you about their challenges or desires, rather than you trying to influence them so that they can tell you what you like to hear, right? That's also a very, very common thing for us to do. So let's make sure you don't do that. Just let them tell you actually what the situation is like, so that you can know, like, is this even a painful problem for them or not? Is this really a desire that they want to have? Are they willing to actually spend time or money to find a solution for that? And then once you have done that kind of research, then you can sit down and look at your low touch research and your high touch research, and then you look at the data, you start looking for patterns and to see that, okay, you know what, yeah, this is a problem worth solving, or yeah, maybe I should now work on a solution because now I have this, right? So it just really gives you confidence. So like assumption is like, oh, here's what I think the truth looks like. And the research is like, no, here's what the people you actually want to reach out to or help are telling you what the truth looks like. Like, it's very different, right? One is biased, one is not biased. So I wanted to make sure I get this out there in the world, because my hope is that there's at least one other person who might be working on a project today. And if that's you, let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know what kind of research you're doing. And if you're not doing research, why is it? What's the rationale behind it? And what kind of challenges are you going through when it comes to doing that kind of like upfront ugly work of research to make sure that you're going to actually work on the right stuff. And if that's the case, leave a comment. Let's get the conversation going, and I would love to help you out. Other than that, if you like videos like this and you like to see more of it, make sure that you share this video with others. So if you have friends and colleagues or somebody else that you know who's working on a project and they might need to hear this message, don't forget to share this video with them. Other than that, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.